Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Perez. Today we are going to be talking about our science lesson of food chains. Now, if you remember, a week or two ago, we talked about living things and the basic needs of all living things, right? So I want you to think about that. So, in order for animals to live and grow, we have to think about the things that they need to stay alive. They need food, air, water, and when we talk about food chains, that helps us to think about how they are getting the food that they need to live and grow. How do they get the food that they need to live and grow? Now, food chains, every living thing needs energy in order to survive and grow. All living things get their energy from the foods that they eat. Plants use sunlight, water, and the nutrients in the soil to get their energy. A food chain shows how living things get food and how energy is passed from creature to creature. So if you look at the food chain here it starts with the sun. The sun is providing energy for plants to grow. Okay? Now if you follow the arrows are showing us what animal will be eating that part of the food chain. So here, the sun provides energy for the flower. The flower is going to provide energy for the caterpillar because the caterpillar is going to eat the flower. Okay? Now the caterpillar, follow the arrow, the caterpillar gets eaten by the frog. The frog is then, follow the arrow again, the frog will get eaten by the snake. We're going to follow the arrow one more time and we're going to see how the snake gets eaten by the hawk. So the snake becomes the energy source for the hawk. So the food chain here shows how energy is moving from plants to animals. We can follow this cycle or this chain by looking at the arrows and we can see how the arrows are showing the flow of energy. Okay? Now, I have some other food chains here to show you, and let's see if we can figure out how these food chains will go, okay? I have a snake, I have a chipmunk, and I have an acorn, okay? Now, we know that the sun provides energy to grow plants, right? And the acorn comes from a plant. So where do you think I'm going to place the acorn? The acorn's going to go here at the beginning of this food chain, right here. Now, I have two pictures left, right? We have the snake and we have the chipmunk. So I have to stop and think, what animal will eat the acorn and get energy from the acorn? Okay, it's a food source. Would that be the snake or would that be the chipmunk? I think that's going to be the chipmunk. What do you think? The chipmunk is going to eat the acorn and it's going to get the energy that it needs to live and grow. So now we have the snake that's left. So here I'm thinking, follow the arrow, right? The chipmunk is going to get eaten by the snake. The chipmunk's going to get eaten by the snake. And this would complete our food chain right here. Okay? Let's look at this other food chain over here. This one here, it starts with the sun, and let me place these other, and I'm going to kind of place them out of order and see if you can think of the next picture that we'll put here to show the next link in our food chain. So the sun is going to provide the energy for what to grow. Would it be the bird, the grass, or the grasshopper? So the next picture that would go next, if you guessed grass, you are correct. That is correct. The sun is providing the energy for the grass to grow. The grass gets its food or energy from the sun. Now the grass is then going to become the energy source for which animal? We have two pictures left, a bird or the grasshopper. So you should be thinking, what animal, which creature would eat the grass? If you guess the grasshopper, you are correct. That is correct. So the grasshopper eats the grass, and it's getting its energy to live and grow. And that leaves one more picture here. That is going to be the bird, because the bird can then eat the grasshopper to get its energy to live and grow. Okay, so this was another little example of a food chain. And I have one more to show you. Now here we have the seaweed, we have a fish, we have a shark. Now the only thing here that's missing are the arrows. We want to make sure that we show arrows to show the flow of energy. So again, the sun was going to provide energy for plants to grow, so the seaweed grows. Then the seaweed is going to get eaten by the fish. So I'm going to draw an arrow going this way. And then I have to stop and think. The fish is then going to get eaten by the shark. And so this arrow would go this way in this direction. Okay, so the flow of energy goes this way. So you notice that the flow of energy can be different depending on your food chain. It can go across, it can go down this way. As long as you're showing the proper flow of energy with your arrows. This will be important because you will have to be able to create or draw your own food chain in the next day or two. So make sure that when you're drawing your own food chain that you are able to draw the picture starting with the sun, and then you have to think about what the sun will become energy for. You can draw that picture. There should be a plant, a flower, grass. Then from there you can draw an arrow and then think about which animal would eat the grass or the plant, and then you can continue your food chain in that manner. Okay, so we will be talking more about food chains tomorrow.